Hello, so this is the walkthrough for the week 7 video. So up here as always is all the stuff. Make sure you click on it. This one you're also going to need two things, so make sure you have both of them open. Like it's been a while. It's been a long morning. Okay, as always the rubric is here attached, and there's the playlist link, and you can get a point for sharing your slides. What I'm going to do is pause it and then open up the lab rubric. Alright, so here is the rubric. You know what? Let me pause it and expand the screen. That looks better. I'm happy. Okay, so here's the rubric. It's pretty short rubric, but it always holds a lot of information. I actually really like this lab. I think it's my favorite. So for exercise 1, it's worth 3.5 totals. The table is going to be worth 2 points, so crazy amount. That's 0.2 points per trait, because there's 10 traits. The Punnett squares are 0.06 points per trait, so 0.6 points in total. And then the blah blah blah. The questions are 0.3 points each, and there's 3 of them. The next one, each table there's 2 are worth a point, and that question there's 2 of them are 0.75 because they're pretty detailed. So that's pretty cool. And then as always, I'm happy with the reference and complete sentences, format, grammar. Okay, so let's look at the lab really quickly. So you'll see you have these different traits that you're going to be looking at. Make sure over here you're giving me phenotype and genotype and offspring. So do they have dimples? Do they not have dimples? What's the phenotype? And then what's the genotype? What are your alleles? Right? So you're going to do that for all of them. To help you do that, if you scroll to the end, there are a bunch of different Punnett squares to go through, right? Which is reminding me of something. I'm going to take a quick note. Okay, so then you might not need 2 filled out per a trait. It depends on if you have recessives or dominants, right? And like I said, so each trait, so interlocking fingers, if you only needed to do one, then that's fine. If you need to do both, you do both. Most times you'll have to be doing both. And they're all here, blah blah blah. If you have one you don't need to do, you can put NA, you can just delete the whole sucker. Don't really care. Let's scroll. Okay, so then here's our questions. You'll go through what are the dominant traits, if you have hypothetical genes, what do you predict. Exercise 2 is what you need that second one for. That's going to give you stuff. I would take a picture of what you create and stick it in here and then say what the disorder is, right? Then down here we have different ones that are already done for you, and you would say what the chromosomal is, what the genotype is, what's the phenotype. Okay? Blah blah blah. Then we have different questions for you to do. What is the karyotype? How's it done? Normal. And you would stick, of course, a reference section at the end on a separate page to give me what your references are that you use. Because you're going to need at least, let's see, in the karyotype, I would say probably in these guys for the descriptions of the phenotypes. In here, you might need them in question C, you know, there's lots of stuff. And as always, you can cite the lab manual, but it's usually better to cite other stuff. Anytime you have to do research, just cite it. You need to do research at least once, so not a problem. And I think that's everything. As always, I have access to the answer keys, so if you want to submit a draft for review, feel free to do it. And I think that's everything. It looks good, right? Nice last assignment. Only one this week, thank goodness. And I think it's a really fun one. Okay, so enjoy, and I hope this helps.